Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Acton, Maine Selectmen's meeting for December 6th, 2016. First item on the agenda is salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda.
I second.
Moved and seconded to agenda. Any discussion? No. Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
I move we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I didn't read them. Actually, I didn't get them.
Yeah, they were emailed this afternoon, but we can table it.
Table.
We'll table. So, we'll table that.
Yeah.
Okay. Department head committee chair updates. Road committee update.
Last week, we had a conversation regarding the road committee, and the board directed me to contact both of the road commissioners and see where they were at with the feeling or the thought of scheduling and calling a meeting. So I did speak to both of them. One of them indicated, well, let me start by saying they were both willing to call a meeting, and certainly we're willing to participate in that. One of them had a concern about the time of year. He felt like with it being winter and everything going on, that it's their busiest time of year. He respectfully asked that the meeting be put off until spring. The only concern of the other road commissioner was really, more about what's the topic's going to be, what's the goal of this committee? What are we going to try to get accomplished? Are there reasons? What's the reason for our meeting? And he had suggested possibly a workshop with the full board and the full road committee to kind of just put it out there and see if there was enough reasons or enough, ideas for the committee to call it together. So that was their thoughts. So that's what you asked me to do.
Okay. As far as the time of year, I think if we can get it going now, it's no reason to wait until spring. And I think the workshop is a good idea. Get the whole group together and try to come up with a direction. 2 years ago, we put it in front of the town to do away with the road committee. The town voted it down. They said, yes, we still want to have the road committee. So the town's spoken, and we'll have a road committee.
So, for clarification purposes, if it's a workshop, they can't take any actions, including
Right.
calling a chair, and it would not be filmed, because generally we don't do film workshops.
We don't
Did you
film
want-
workshops.
We
Okay.
have it in the past, no.
True.
And I'm not sure who's gonna, I don't wanna say organize, or at least keep the meeting
Right.
without a chair.
Well, we can do it a couple of ways. We can either call a meeting and have a full meeting televised. So they do need to have a chair. They need to have their committee lined up, and we can just be there and answer any questions they have and try to give them some direction. What's the thoughts of the other members?
I think in order to keep a meeting going in order, a chairman should be elected. So possibly a short televised meeting, and then follow up with the workshop.
That would work? What's your thoughts, Bill?
Oh, that sounds good.
And I guess I just want to, because and this isn't anything on the road committee, but we've kind of run into this with a couple other committees in town. We don't want to get we either want to get in the habit of saying, all workshops are going to be filmed, or getting into some sort of clarification about when they can call a workshop, because you don't want workshops to start being called to avoid
Right.
the camera. So, a workshop generally, if you're having a roundtable discussion about like our budget workshop next week.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure that, if they're going to call a meeting, then you might as well just have meetings.
Yeah, they could have a meeting to get their committee lined up, and then follow it up with a joint meeting with us.
Okay.
Does that sound doable?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I think it's important to have it filmed. I do. Every other meeting we have in town is filmed. I just think it's an important thing to do.
So I'm to call them and say, you need to schedule a meeting?
I would say, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they can pick the date, tell them what we have for openings as far as dates and whatnot, but, yep. Yep, okay,
Okay.
sounds good. Anything else on the road committee?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Did we want to read the letter? Or is that
Oh, I
on
had it
here?
under new business, but
Okay.
Okay.
either way.
Yeah, we'll do it on new business. Next, we have warrant and finance committee update.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick update. We had our second meeting of this fiscal year yesterday evening. And at the first meeting, we tackled the idea that donations account for some 70-some-odd $1,000 in our taxpayer money, and at least for the last 2 years, none of the recipients had gone through any process for vetting them and for looking at their presentation as to why they want money and how much money they want and why they want it. And so we looked at various parts of it. Obviously, the committee would like to assist the selectmen in terms of vetting, as apparently they've done in the past. And assuming that that's what your group wishes, we tackled an application form that's going to be universal for all people asking for funds, public money donations. That was discussed in detail last night. A draft was resulted in that meeting, and I sent that draft out to the members today as hopefully a final draft, and I believe that you all received a copy of that this afternoon. Tell me yes. No.
I don't believe they've received it yet, no.
Okay.
We were gonna, my plan was to present it to them at the workshop, the budget workshop next week.
That's fine. And this is in preparation for your workshop, and we realize that it's budget time is still some weeks off, but we wanted to get this in the mail if everyone agrees to it, because that way they can be alerted as to the information that we want from each of the groups, and we could begin vetting the 15 or 20 people that we presently have on the list.
Sounds good. This is a good process, so.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add from the board? Okay. Anything else on that, Jennifer? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Down to old business. The library door glass.
I'll let you handle that one. It's on order.
It's on, great, on order.
on order.
It's
We're
okay, so
waiting.
it's on order, waiting to arrive. The rear stairs are completed?
No.
Nope,
Uh,
still
last-
waiting for dirt?
Well, last week we got our dirt,
Yep.
crushed stone, so that's been put into place. There are a couple of minor things that need to be done. Ken told me today that he expected it to be completely done by the end of the year.
Okay,
So next couple of weeks, he'll sneak it in.
okay. Removal of the old sand salt building.
Topic for our budget workshop next week, 'cause I haven't, really need to sit down with the treasurer and
Okay,
talk about that and figure out if we're gonna move it forward on the warrant, so it's kind of just
yeah,
out there too.
yeah. My concern with it is we're good for, what do you say, 60 days or 90 days?
Yes.
Was it 90 or 60?
It was 60.
60 days on the quote that we received. My concern is if we go beyond that, we have to rebid it.
This is true.
I think we're going to be looking at a substantial amount more money
If we rebid it,
if we rebid it.
well, possibly, I mean, depending on how the
So-
conversation goes next week, maybe we can have a conversation with them, and, I mean, if it turns out that can't happen until July, then maybe we can see if he'll be willing to sign an agreement or extend it, you know. I haven't spoken to him directly, that was just the
Okay.
secretary, so,
Okay, okay, Yep.
it certainly doesn't hurt to ask them, I mean, it's
No, not
a
at
decent
all,
job,
so-
they may sit on it for us.
okay. New business, email from the superintendent. Bill. Thank you. Okay, you've actually read this through, haven't you?
I have.
I'm going to pass this for you to read.
Okay.
I glanced down through it when I saw it, but,
This is from Jonathan Ross, the superintendent/principal at the Acton School. He sent this out on Friday, I believe is when it was sent out. Hello, Acton Selectmen. I want you to know that the Acton Road Commissioners and crew did a great job with sanding the local roads last Tuesday morning. I watched the weather and texted Andy Brazier at 4:30 a.m. to ensure that transporting students to school could be done safely. The weather forecast and conditions at that time suggested a safe ride. The Acton students who were transported to Sanford High School experienced no rain or sleet. However, approximately 5 minutes into the elementary school bus run, the temperature dropped just enough to create a thin coat of ice on the roads, making them potentially dangerous. The sand trucks were out immediately, and the school buses made it through their AM run without incident. Please extend my thanks to the Acton Road Commissioners, Mr. Mooney and Mr. Winchell, for a job well done. Regards, John Ross. And I wholeheartedly agree with what John said. My husband left at 7:30 a.m. that morning down 109 and saw 2 cars off the road, which I believe is a state road, and then called me and said, "Don't let Hannah leave for school yet." So I waited until I saw a sand truck go by, which I did not recognize as a state truck, but I think was told later it may have been a town truck covering the corners.
And help out. Yeah, they said it turned icy in a matter of, just minutes. I came down at the same time right on Goose Pond Road, and I thought I was headed for the water going down that hill.
Yeah.
The Shapley side.
I've seen a couple of emails, I think, just within the last day or so, too, with that storm and the one we just had yesterday,
Yeah,
praising the road crew.
absolutely.
They do a wonderful job. I was telling the other members of the board, I came home last night from Virginia about 11:30 last night, through Milton Mills, and it was a little slushy and icy. Crossed over into Acton. It was great. The roads were super. So we do have a good crew, both sides of town. So, abatement. Thank you. Okay, tax abatement for Dean Knight, P.O. Box 134, Acton, Maine. And this is for map and lot 225-007. Dear Mr. Dean Knight, the town of Acton has reviewed the 2016 assessed value of your Acton property. As a result of your review, we have granted an abatement on Acton map and lot 225-007. Somehow that's appropriate. Sorry, Dean. The reasons for the abatement are homestead exemption was missed in the original commitment. The revised valuation and tax and the original valuation and tax are displayed in the tables below. Land is 30,250, building 222,421. The exemption is 16,500. It was not on the 16 original tax bill. So that's the change, is the 16,500. Brings the total real estate value. Originally it was 252,671. Now it is 236,171. And that's at a mill rate of $11.25. Total taxable, total real tax was $2,842.55. Now is $2,656.92. We, the Acton Board of Assessors, have approved the tax abatement for $16,500 in valuation and $185.63 in tax dollars on real estate. Please contact our assessors, Agent John E. O'Donnell and Associates, if you have any questions or concerns regarding this matter at 207-926-4044. What is the wishes of the board?
I move that we approve the tax abatement for Dean Knight.
I second.
Moved and seconded to approve the tax abatement for Dean Knight. Any further discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor? All opposed?
Just a bit of follow-up on that. So Mr. Knight owned 2 properties on Route 109. The assessor inadvertently transferred the wrong one. So when it was transferred to someone that was no longer, that wasn't a resident, someone new to town, they automatically removed the homestead.
Ah.
So it was determined that the wrong property was swapped. We swapped them back. His exemption was taken off, which it shouldn't have been.
Okay. Next section is public comment. Anyone from the public wish to comment on anything that's going on around town or what we're doing? Anyone at all? Nope. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, I got to admit, and my wife laughs at this, I got to tell everyone. A lot of times when we do that, there's absolutely nobody sitting in the audience.
But
But it's
there is
opened up.
tonight.
There is tonight.
So we can
have
scroll the
Dr. Williams
audience.
in the audience, so, but yes. So, okay, announcements. 2017 dog licenses are now available. Please get your dogs registered.
We're gonna change that to now do, because
Now
I'm gonna
do?
put out the plea, so I know that it's Christmas, I
Okay.
am with you all, but 3 weeks, dog licenses are due. We start calling every single dog owner, God love you all, but please just come in and register your dog.
Yeah, especially if something happens and he run away and you can't
Because
find him, so.
The late fee is,
The late fee, well, now that you've asked, I'm fess to the truth. The month of January, they allow it as a leeway, so there's no late fee in January. February, the late fee goes up to $25. In March, we start issuing warrants. But we don't even want to get to January.
No,
25 per dog.
Per dog, correct.
yeah, please get your dogs licensed.
It's their gift, it's their holiday gift
There you go,
Yeah.
little tag.
And they're pretty blue.
this year, yes.
Okay, let's see, today's the 6th. Okay, snow and ice control workshop, December 8th at 7:30. That's in Sanford.
And Elise, you got confirmation, Dr. Williams, you got confirmation that you guys are all set for the class?
Yep.
So we're all set.
Great.
I didn't get any specific confirmation, but I know that they have my check.
Yeah. I can send you one, I'll forward you the email, they confirm the 3 of you, so.
We have a budget workshop, December 13th at 4 PM. That's next week, next Tuesday, December 13th. And that's to go over the timeline and get ready for our upcoming budget season. Special town meeting, December 13th, 2016 at 6 PM. That's next Tuesday, but at 6 PM, right after our selectmen's meeting. And that is to go over the information for the,
Goat Hill Grant.
yes, the grant for the, Goat Hill grant. Yep, I was trying to think of Mac and, what's the name of the orchard again, Mac? Romac Orchards, yes. So, anything else to come up for the board? Do you have anything, Elise?
We
Here,
have
yes.
our annual holiday tea at the library on Thursday from 4 to 7. Everybody's welcome. And then we have our story and activity hour every Friday morning for parents and infants with their siblings to age 3, from 10 to 11 on Friday mornings.
We still knitting, or did I miss that?
You can certainly come and knit, but there won't be anybody there to help you. She's not feeling well.
I'm sorry.
You're welcome to come, 10 to 12.
Anything else?
Nope.
No? You have anything, Bill?
No, sir.
Nothing, okay. Nothing else to come in front of the board? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I second.
All in favor? Okay, moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you all. Have a good night.
Night.